Hi, welcome everyone. My name is Nambura Mboro, bringing this video from the slopes of Mount Kenya. If you're coming across this video for the first time, kindly subscribe. Introducing Kenya on the Cruise. 2022 polls between Raila and Ruto expected to be highly contested. This will be a two-horse race and many have predicted a win from either side. It will be of close margin. Unknown to many, 2022 polls will not be between Ruto and Raila, neither between you and me. The polls will either be lost or won in Shanghai or in London. Back in the days, Kenya, just like many African countries, was colonized. Kenya is a political child of Britain and subscribed to the British doctrine. In the 1950s, Kenya experienced a movement popularly known as Mau Mau. In fact, many believe that the Mau Mau won the war in the forest, but I tend to differ. It was a negotiated agreement. Kenyatta's administration took good care of Britain and her interests for 18 years. Kenya's relationship with the West was sober and intact. Well, in 1978, the death of Kenyatta brought in the Moi administration. Just like the Kenyatta's administration, Moi continued leading from the same chapter, and Moi-London relationship grew deeper. In fact, Moi told the world that he will follow the footsteps of Mzee. In Swahili, he said, "Tafuata nyayo," and indeed, he did exactly that. For 24 years, Nyayo administration kept London happy. It was in the 1990s that the clamour for multipartyism, led by Jaramogi Odinga and Kenneth Matiba, among others, saw Moi bend to pressure from London to change Section 2A of the Constitution that brought about many parties. The Nyayo regime edged closer to exit. In 2002, the Moi regime was on its way out, and Moi had chosen Uhuru as his successor, among its big names that had political prowess, led by then Vice President George Saitoti. The fight for multipartyism put together Gema and the Luos on one side, fighting against Moi. In fact, the two communities suffered most. The choice of Uhuru by Moi was a surprise to the Kikuis, and many said he was returning a favor to the Kenyattas, but I differ. In the same year, Mzungu's hand was visible in bringing together all the presidential aspirants of the time, led by Moi Kibaki and Raila Odinga, to form the famous Rainbow Coalition that sank Moi and Uhuru. Unlike Moi and Kenyatta's, Kibaki administration headed to Shanghai, and Nairobi was showered with money by her new boyfriend. Big infrastructure, amongst them the famous Thika Superhighway, were built by China. This didn't go well with London, and the men who had initiated Kenya-China marriage got the wrath of the Mzungu. The likes of Murungaro were denied access to the land of Mzungu. My grandmother used to tell me that you can't eat dowry twice from one daughter, and that is a taboo to do so. Gema leadership had taken dowry from two men for a girl called Kenya. Indeed, the second generation of Gema leaders had eaten from Shanghai, knowing that Nairobi was taken by London, and that the first generation of Gema leaders had eaten from London. This led to a disputed election and later political violence of 2007 that brought about the trial of 6 Kenyans at ICC, a court that was established by the West. This was indeed after a spirited fight to form a local tribunal was defeated in parliament. In 2013, Uhuru teamed up with Ruto to win a presidential election at a time when both were suspects at ICC. Indeed, Gema came out in large numbers to rescue the son from the jaws of ICC. Uhuru's case was later terminated, and that of his deputy. Uhuru's re-election, just like Kibaki's, wasn't smooth. In fact, he goes in history to have been elected thrice after the Supreme Court nullified his re-election. He's lucky because some say he ran against himself after Raila, his close challenger, boycotted. Some days back, Ruto visited Washington and London to test the waters. It was in this meeting that he told Mzungu on matters relating to this year's polls. His critics say he went as a tourist. Raila also visited London and had some meetings there as well. This shows the significance of London and the West in this year's polls. As we head to the polls, my question to you, the rest of Kenya: which way Kenya? In whose hands are we indeed safe? To my Gema family, now that you already ate dowry from 2 men for a girl named Kenya, and that it's not in our DNA to pay back easily. In fact, some say that we are defaulters. Which of the 2 men will we betray? As the clock ticks, Gema has no option but to face the mountain and cry to Kikuyu and Mumbi. We must stick together. On August 9 this year, Baba is coming. Whether he comes from the west or east, he's indeed coming. And as we hide in the mountain to see from which side he comes from, I smell London. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Nyambura Mboro. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Opinion TV, where your opinion indeed counts. Thank you.